Hey guys, it's been a little while since I last posted, maybe a week or so, and it's just been a pretty tough couple of weeks actually, probably a pretty tough month with some really deep depression, a really deep, dark place that you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. So just sort of emerging from that and coming out into this rather incredible and beautiful spot this morning out in Bellingen. Lovely little rainforest area here, World Heritage area. Check it out, it's absolutely magnificent. It's great to be emerging, but I just wanted to share with you today a couple of things about depression and anxiety and the gut. It's what I've been finding out over the last probably 4 to 6 weeks is that through the chronic fatigue that I have, my gut has always been a problem. And this is a video for those of you who struggle with depression and anxiety and have kind of wondered what the hell is going on. I just can't seem to shake this thing. Medication doesn't hit it. There's something going on they've discovered in more recent years, and I've been sort of aware of it in the background, but I hadn't really focused on it. So I've just recently done a test. I'm still waiting for the results as I've sent it off. But gut bacteria apparently rules the head, rules the serotonin for the mind, rules some of the other chemicals that would maybe affect anxiety and depression quite severely. And you find yourself in this place, and you never would have thought that something up here, whatever was going on up here, or feels like it's up here, is coming from down in your gut. And yet this is what the medical experts are now saying. So it stands to reason. And so over the last 3 days I've been just trying to claw my way out of this deep dark dungeon that sort of traps you, as only those of you who've experienced depression will know what I'm talking about. As you sort of try and claw yourself out, you're questioning, what is it, what can I do to get through this, what is it that's going on, what's triggered this? And for me, it's sort of been such a part of my life. As the chronic fatigue comes over me, I find myself in depression and just struggle through that. And you may be well the same, and you may have wondered. So anyway, over the last few days I've got back to very serious diet, very much on the like chicken broth soups, just for mostly that's all I've eaten the last 3 days really. And just allowed the gut to settle back down, and I can feel the inflammation. It was almost like the whole body was inflamed, and your head, you just can't think or see, or pretty much you just feel trapped in your body, and you can't get out of there. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. And basically it does seem like I can even feel the difference today as the gut has settled down. Whatever's going on down in there is a direct correlation of here. Now, that's what the science is saying anyway, but when you feel it for yourself, you kind of know, man, I've got to do something with this gut. So they got a plan for me anyway, apparently, depending on what the tests bring back, that they work on the bacteria, basically, and they try and, balance out good bacteria, bad bacteria, micro, I can't even think what it's called now, but anyway, certainly the brain gets pretty fuzzy after 4 or 6 weeks in this really oppressed state of depression. So just thought I'd share that with you. It's something maybe it's worth looking at for yourself. This might be just hitting you and you're thinking, man, I've been trying to find a way through this stuff. I take some antidepressants and just a lowish dose, but didn't touch it at all this time. It didn't stop it, didn't help. I was just like lost in there, man. It's just bad news. So if there's an answer, man, we've got to find it. We've got to find this answer. And if you think about what's been happening right across the Western world in the last 30 to 40 years, the rise in depression and anxiety is extreme and frightening. Like some of the stats that you hear about depression, certainly the suicide rate is just rocketed. So what is going on? Why are people so depressed? I see that there's definitely 2 things. If this gut thing is responsible, you look at the Western diet over the last 40 or 50 years particularly, the massive shift that we've taken towards processed carbohydrate type foods, sugars, etc., a lot of caffeine, a lot of unhealthy stuff. And basically the gut is where it sort of all gets in there, and without that right gut biology, perhaps this is where depression and anxiety are really rising up. We've seen a massive increase in it, so something is going on. The other one, of course, is the stress that we live under. And I notice for me, when I'm flat or down, oh man, I just get so stressed so easily. And it's just the stresses. So I didn't really notice stress. So for a lot of people, you're just pushing through stress every day. You're just going for it, and you just get up and go to work and just right stress, brain. You see people. I watched a video the other day. Two guys, some sort of road rage thing on a dash cam, and you see these two guys jump out of their trucks of a morning on their way to work in Sydney or Melbourne, and they're having a full-on fist fight at 6:30 a.m. in the morning. And you're like, what is going on that provokes you to get out of your truck at 6:30 when you must be half days, surely, and start having a punch up with another guy because he pulled in front of you, or you know what I mean? Like, the stress levels are so high in complete opposition to this. Look at God's creation, will you? Look at what's around us. Can you feel the difference? The stresses we place ourselves under to kind of push, and eventually that just comes up and I think it overwhelms us, to be honest. I got overwhelmed with stress there the other week when we had these floods here in our area. I'm running around trying to stop water coming in under my house, and one of the units I got is flooded, and there's water running through. There's a waterfall of dirt coming down the stairs, and I'm like, oh my goodness, and I'm sandbagging, and I'm sweeping out water, and I'm mopping it up, and I'm trying, and it's just overwhelming, and that stress just rises up. And so part of what happens to me is that stress triggers deeper depression because I've used up kind of energy, I think, and this is what's happening. We're running, we're pushing, we're using our adrenal glands, and we're saying, give me some more energy, I need more, and push. And eventually the adrenals just go, hey man, I need a rest, I've got nothing left for you, pal. And tells us to sit down and shut up and be still for a while. And we're like, I don't want to. And we keep pushing even further. And then, great is the fall, And it sucks, man, to go down there. But there is some stuff behind it that I reckon we could take back. That we can shift some stuff in our lives that would make a significant difference to what's going on up here. So maybe today you've been asking the question. Actually, I'm pretty convinced there's someone watching this that's been asking the question, what is going on in me, man? Maybe you're only in low depression. Maybe you're just flat and life has very little meaning to you. There's no excitement, there's no joy, there's no passion. Maybe you're like that, and maybe you've been working your ass off for years and you're just sort of like, dispassionate about everything around you. Hey, I know what that's like, dude. It sucks. Maybe you're at that stage. Maybe you're more like I was in just this full-blown darkness where you're just stuck and you can't seem to get out of the cage. Wherever you're at, maybe there's some answers down in the gut. Maybe there's some answers for that you've been pushing yourself for too long, too hard, too fast, and wondering why you just kind of burn out, basically. The way we live our lives in our society, most of our society these days, are way faster than we need to. Again, can you feel the rhythm of this place? Can you hear how the water flows at a different rhythm than we move at? I'm convinced that if we can learn to move in the rhythm of creation, so much of what's going on up here, the problem, the dramas, the stresses, begin to come down, and we begin to live in a far more balanced, harmonious way that's going to make a significant difference to every aspect of our life. Certainly, maybe bring a return to joy. So if you're struggling with joy, lacking hope, feeling dark, maybe it's time to just pull back, stop racing, stop charging ahead, trying to get whatever it is that you think that you need, and look a little deeper within. Maybe the gut, maybe the stress. I hope that this provides some sort of answer or some sort of hope for you, because I know, only as of yesterday, day before, mate, hope was sadly lacking for me. So hopefully you can get something from this that might trigger you to understand that maybe there's a way out of this dark dungeon that you found yourself in. Take it easy, guys. Talk to you again soon.